Good. Very good morning, colleagues. Today, let us revise the chapter Understanding Laws. This is a part of your syllabus, part of PT3 examination. The chapter deals about different laws and how laws introduced by the Parliament in India. Parliament is solely responsible for introduction of law. The laws introduced by the Parliament may be accepted by the people, or sometimes they may turn into controversial laws. So in this chapter, we are going to deal about the details of passing of law. So you can see a protest march pic where the people are protesting against the law passed by the government. So the Constitution of India clearly says that the law cannot discriminate between the persons on the basis of their religion, caste, gender. That means the rule of law. So according to the rule of law, all citizens are treated equal before the law, irrespective of their gender, religion, the caste. Neither a government official nor a wealthy person nor even the president of the country is above the law. So it is very clearly stated that all citizens in India are treated equal before the law. And this concept of treating equal before the law is called as rule of law. So I repeat, rule of law. But the discussion point here is a rule of law was an order of Indian society, or is it established or implemented after the implementation of the Constitution of India? When we refer Indian history during the British period known as colonial period, during the colonial period, is the rule of law was the order of the day or arbitrary laws. Arbitrary laws were there. So when we go deep into the Indian history, we come across several laws passed by the British East India Company and later by the British Parliament. The laws passed by the British Parliament, they were all arbitrary laws, means they discriminated Indians on the basis of race. So historians have disputed this claim on the several grounds. First one, the colonial law was arbitrary, and second, the Indian nationalists played a prominent role in the development of legal sphere in British India. The Rowlatt Act passed by the British in the year 1919 or the Sedition Act of 1870, these are the few examples for the laws passed by the British not follow the concept of rule of law. Take for example, according to the rule of law, a person who is an accused arrested by the police should given enough opportunity to or the trial before concluding this judgment. But the laws passed by the British in the past denied the fair trial or the denied trial to the person was arrested. So the British government could arrest any person without trial. So that is 100% against the concept of rule of law. I hope it's clear. And later we discussed about the issue of Jallianwala Bagh. Children, can you recall the dates or the month, year of Jallianwala Bagh? Jallianwala Bagh, a massacre, a remark in the Indian history, the British Indian history, and it is a specimen of atrocities of the British East India Company. A Rowlatt Act passed in the year 1919 denied the fair trial or the trial to the person who is arrested in the name of political prisoner. Not only that, the Act allowed the British government to keep an Indian prisoner in jail without a trial for 2 years. The people who protested against the Jallianwala Rowlatt Act, they were very brutally massacred, and that incident known as Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So, what is the point of discussion here? The point of discussion is that the concept of rule of law was not a common practice in the past. The British East India Company or the British Parliament passed several laws of discriminatory in nature. So the rule of law concept was evolved after the colonial period. Example of Hindu Succession Amendment Act of 2005. The Hindu Succession Amendment Act of 2005, according to this new law, sons and daughters and their mothers can get equal share of the family property. The new law has been enacted to control pollution and provide employment to the affected communities. Okay. Hope the concept of rule of law is clear to you. Now let us study about a storyboard, how the Domestic Violence Act was passed. So this storyboard clearly explains about the need for a Domestic Violence Act. Earlier, violence against women in the domestic or in the home considered as a criminal justice system, means it was a part of criminal procedure system. So women started feeling or demanding that there should be protection for women in the home or domestic area. So the women organization demanded for a law which protect women from any kind of violence. So this we discussed, of course, in detail. The definition of Domestic Violence Act, it should include physical, economical, sexual, verbal and emotional abuse. Means a person, a woman should not be abused in any manner, let it be physical, economic, sexual or verbal or emotional abuse. So, according to the Domestic Violence Act, even the women may be sister, mother, brother, sister, mother or wife or mother-in-law, whatever it may be. So they are supposed to get even the financial relief. So finally the bill was introduced in the parliament. So introduction of the bill is a stage in the parliament. So the domestic violence bill was introduced in the parliament. When introduced in the parliament, and the bill referred to the Defence Standing Committee in the year 2002. So the bill referred to the Standing Committee in the year 2002 and recommend the Parliamentary Standing Committee taken suggestion from the several women's organization and others for altering certain clauses of the Domestic Violence Act. So according with the reintroduction of few amendments, the Domestic Violence Act was reintroduced in the year, presented in the Parliament in the year 2005. So the Domestic Violence Act bill was introduced in the House in the year 2002 and the Parliamentary Standing Committee presented its report in the year 2005 and finally the Domestic Violence Act came into effect in the year 2006. So Domestic Violence Act protects a woman in domestic arena, means in the home. Now, how to define a Domestic Violence Act? So, Domestic Violence Act is now a civil act which protects women. It's a right of a woman to have a shared household. It's a right of women free from physical, emotional, sexual, verbal and economic abuse. So that is what the Domestic Violence Act. This of course in detail we studied when the chapter was on. Is a part of your revision for PT 3. So here it's very important that the Parliament involved in the discussion, not only the Parliament involved in the discussion, involvement of mass media, involvement of people is very common in such discussion. This voice can be heard to the TV reports, newspaper, editorials, radio, broadcast and the local meetings. So introduction of all these things are involvement of mass media, newspaper report, editorials are very common in the case of Domestic Violence Act. Hope things are clear. Now let us understand the next topic. So till now we revised the syllabus of the topic of what is law. Law means order passed by the Parliament is called as law. The second one we discussed about rule of law. All the rule of law means all citizens are treated equal before law without considering their caste, religion, sex or gender, economic background. So that is what we call as a rule of law. When we discussed about Sedition Act, Rowlatt Act and absence of rule of law during the colonial period. Then we discussed about the Domestic Violence Act. According to the Domestic Violence Act, women are protected in a domestic area, means in the household. from economic, physical, sexual, emotional and verbal abuse. Means you cannot deny property for women, you cannot physically hit women, even shouting, that is verbal abuse, it is also prohibited according to the Domestic Violence Act. Hope things are clear. Now let us move to the topic unpopular and controversial laws. There is a possibility that few laws may turn into controversial and unpopular. When there is no need that all the laws passed by the Parliament should be approved. The laws passed by the Parliament may turn as unpopular, or sometimes the people may reject those laws. So people might criticize this law as unfair, and people can go for holding public meetings and protest against such laws. People can write about these laws in the newspapers, they can report to the TV channels, etc. So in a democracy, in a democratic country like ours, citizens can express their unwillingness to accept repressive laws framed by the Parliament. When a large number of people begin to feel that a wrong law has been passed, then there is a pressure on the Parliament to change the law. Take for example, recently the government was forced to withdraw the farm bill. The government faced a lot of protest from the farmers, especially in Punjab and Haryana. As a result, the government was forced to withdraw the farm law. Like that, there are enough examples where the laws passed by the government turned into unpopular and government was forced to withdraw such laws. So MPs and MLAs belongs to the opposition party. They may criticize the laws passed by the ruling party. So it is very essential that when the laws they are criticized in the Parliament, and there is a possibility of growing unpopularity against the law, in such cases law should be withdrawn. So hope things are clear to you. So what the few important words related to the chapter. Sedition Act that applies everything that the government might consider for striking out resistance as rebellion against it. In such cases, the government does not need an absolute evidence in order to arrest the person. So Sedition Act is nothing but it is not following the rule of law. Okay. So this is about revision of the chapter, that is understanding law. Take care. Wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much.